Thought they responded very well.
Thank you very much. I was real happy the way we came out, and we shot very well, and I think that says a lot for our kids to come out and play well on a first time we've ever been in Assembly Hall.
I was particularly impressed with Jamie Martin. Does he always do all those things?
Well, we think he's a quiet type of player, but he's shot 68% for the season, and I know he's shooting 72, 73% right now in the tournament, so he's pretty close to where he's been.
What do you have to do, your Harvard team, to be successful against Chrisman?
Well, Chrisman is so well coached, and they're very disciplined. I think that, we're going to obviously have to try to contain Redmond, and they have 4 players in double figures. So again, this presents the same problem that we had last night in terms of the balanced scoring that they have. I think we're going to have to board well, and we're going to have to be patient in our shot selection. Chrisman prides itself in defense, and we're going to have to move the ball real well tonight.
Bruce, did anything surprise you about how your team reacted playing down here for the first time?
Well, I was real happy the way they played, but we believe in ourselves and we believe in our team, and they've done it all year, so they're a very mature group.
Do you think they're able here to play them even at this late date, one at a time?
Right. We just said to them in the locker room, we can't play tonight's game this afternoon, so we have to have the utmost respect for Chrisman.
I can't let you go without asking you a comment about the Providence St. Mel and Hoopeston East Lynn game. That was a real plus for Class A basketball.
Well, yes, it is. Both teams got a lot of talent, and they're very well coached, and I think this says a lot for Illinois basketball.
Well, so does your team. It's 28-1, and congratulations and good luck.
Thank you very much.
Bruce Furchow, the coach of the Harvard Hornets, and now we're going to ask him to step by, and we're going to bring in
Harvard High School, Bruce Furchow. Number 12, Tim Bass. Number 14, Dave Lipinski. Number 20, Fred Garza. Number 24, Mike Jones. Number 42, Richard Young. Number 44, Greg Raup. And number 50, Scott Weinstra. And now let's meet the starting lineup for the Harvard Hornets. And a forward, a senior, 6'1", number 34, Mike Fisher.
Averages almost 8 points a game, the top student in his senior class at Harvard High School.
At a forward is senior, 6'6", number 52, Jamie Martin.
One of the tournament superstars, 22-point average, shooting a 68% clip from the field.
At center for the Hornets, a senior, 6'5", number 40, Eric Shipke.
Hear the crowd roar Moose. He's 6'5", 210, a senior, headed for Wisconsin for football.
At guard, a senior, 5'9", number 10, Jay Jones.
One of the playmakers, quick little backliner, averages almost 8 points each time out.
And at guard, a senior, 6'3", number 32, Tom King.
King, a lefty, 12.6 average, did not have an exceptional game last night, although he was well into double figures. King scored to 13 last night.
The Cardinals of Chrisman High School with a record of 27 wins, only 4 losses. The head coach at Chrisman High School, Roger Beals. Number 4, Greg Hunt. Number 14, John Johnson. Number 22, Tony Randall. Number 24, David Lawless. Number 30, Dale Good. Number 32, John Morris. Number 44, Eric Lusader. And now, here's the starting lineup for the Chrisman Cardinals. And a forward is senior, 5'11", number 12, Wayne Pennington.
Good tough player, 10.9 average.
The other forward is sophomore, 6 feet tall, number 34, Walt Holt.
Played extremely well last night in the win over Addison. Averages about 10 points a game.
At center for the Cardinals is senior, 6 feet 6, number 40, Steve Redmond.
This is the Chrisman superstar, 18.4 average, fine player.
At a guard, a senior, 6'1", number 10, Randy DeMoss.
He puts the go in this ball club. Got in foul trouble last night.
And the other guard for Chrisman, a sophomore, 5'11", number 42, Troy Hollingsworth.
There's a dandy sophomore, key man in that win over Madison. Broke their pressure all night long. So those are your starters for
The
Chrisman.
officials for this semifinal game are Jim Collins of Harrisburg.
Jim Collins and Steve Morris, the officials. And one of your network sponsors is Country Companies Insurance. Chrisman's Cardinals enrollment of 142 compared to an enrollment of 557 for Harvard. Chrisman, a town of 1,500. Harvard's population, 5,100. Harvard in McHenry County. Chrisman in the East Okaw Conference. It's Chrisman, Scotland. That school was consolidated, by the way, in 1972. So those are some of the pertinent facts. We'll have more for you as we move along. Redmond steps in to jump against Eric Shimke. Harvard in the black. Chrisman in the gray, trimmed and startled in black. There's the opening jump of the ball game. Harvard's got it. Jamie Martin on the drive.
Beautiful drive by Jamie Martin.
Oh, he's really having a tournament. He started off the super with a 25-point salvo, and things have really been going well for Mr. Martin. Chrisman from the side. Up and in is Wayne Pennington. Tied at 2. This will probably be up-tempo. Chrisman kids, very, very hard-nosed competitors. So's Harvard. Out on the floor.
Chrisman in a 2-1-2 zone. Hard.
Martin to Fisher.
Got the roll in.
You get the right bounce. Sometimes that's the big payoff for you. And indeed, Mike Fisher did. On the attack, Chrisman looking for the equalizer. Hollingsworth, the sophomore. Rebound, tied up. Fisher battles on the inside with Walt Holt. They tie it up and they'll jump.
This could be a real big matchup between Steve Redmond and Jamie Martin. I noticed their defense in each other, and that could be a real good fight there.
That should be an interesting battle. Yep, fought for, and finally, let's see, it's going to be Chrisman coming out with the basketball. And they're going to rule, apparently, that knocking the ball out of bounds over there was Wayne Pennington. As a result, Harvard has it. Checking back on the performance last night of Jamie Martin, he poured in 30 points and had 14 rebounds, I believe, if memory serves me correctly. In the middle, here's Jamie. Jamie wearing number 52 for the Black-clad Hornets. Off to Tom King. Jay Jones. Fisher. Skip pass across the zone to King for the left-hander. Rebound, Shimke. Up the board.
Big Shimke takes a lot of space up in there.
Yeah, big and strong on the inside. Harvard jumps on top by a couple of buckets. Here's Chrisman bringing the ball across. Troy Hollingsworth, a 5'10", 170-pound sophomore. On the floor to Randy DeMoss. They go back door to Holt. The shot was blocked by Martin, but Martin picked it up. Personal foul on Jamie Martin.
Harvard's packing it in pretty tight in the zone back there, too. They're allowing that outside shot.
At the free throw line will go Walt Holt.
I definitely got him over. Yeah, on his shoulder, on his arm, too.
Were they in a 1-3-1 that time?
I thought it was just a tight 2-1-2. I didn't see it.
Martin was all alone at the baseline at any rate.
They only showed it one time. It looked like a 2-1-2, but maybe it was a 1-3-1.
Holt makes the first throw, as you see, and now it's a 6-3 ball game. One more throw to Walt Holt. Harvard inbounds. Jamie Martin kicks it in to Jay Jones. Here's Jay flying up over the timeline. Hollingsworth picks him up in that portion of the zone defense. Now there's Shimke, number 40, posted up inside. Here is perimeter shot by Martin. Jay Jones tried to tip it, number 10. The ball is loose, and Chrisman comes out with it. Randy DeMoss down the left side of the lane. Harvard bench wanted a turnover. Double dribble call, didn't get it. Pennington. Pulling it down is Tom King. Loose, scramble for the ball. And Jay Jones comes out finally. And coming up, holding his jaw is Tom King.
Tom King got hammered while he's on the floor.
He tries to move it around Hollingsworth.
Beautiful feed by Tom King.
Jamie Martin ended up with the basketball, trying to move inside, and drew the personal foul on Walt Holt. And again, we're seeing a very physical basketball game in the early going, Bob.
Yeah, it is. Really some head knocking in there. And you have some big people in there. Steve Redmond, Jamie Martin, and Eric Simke.
All right, the ball will be triggered in by Harvard. Common foul. They go to Jay Jones. This is Jay, top of the free throw circle on the right side to Fisher. Cross court to Tom King.
You notice that Jamie Martin's playing pretty high and then rolling down. He likes the ball up on the free throw line.
He's a good perimeter shooter. Shimke took the shot. Rebound hauled down by Steve Redmond. Of course, Redmond's very mobile, too. We haven't really seen him go to the outside.
Redmond plays out there on the high post, too, on the free throw line. He plays out high.
These high school big men play all over the floor anymore, don't they?
They sure do. You no longer have the old post, man.
DeMoss to Pennington. Hollingsworth tipped the rebound and came out with. He's one of the tough, hard-nosed players in this tournament. I know Bob really liked him last night.
I sure did.
Inside, and you saw it result. Walt Holt danced up on the
roll.
We're tied.
This Troy Hollingsworth is a real competitor.
They've only got him for 2 more years. Nice way to start, isn't it?
It sure is.
Kind of a coach on the floor type. King. To me, Tom King is the real key for this Harvard ball. Jamie Martin's the all-stater, but if King's playing well, Harvard tends to go well.
I see this is a 2-1-2, I believe, Art.
Yeah, I think you're right. Shimke, the middleman, you can see him back in there. And they have Jamie Martin working at the baseline along with Fisher. Redmond turns on Shimke, and Martin grabs the board. Off to Tom King. Harvard running. Now they slow it down as Chrisman gets back very well on defense. Mike Fisher to Martin, and Martin was fouled. A reach in, trying for the steal was Wayne Pennington. Pennington reached down and got Martin across the arm. Now let's see how it looks the second time around.
I believe he had him with the arm here. Right over the top, yeah. Both arms.
There's not much question about that.
You know, the fact that they got Jamie Martin playing out high and rolling Eric Simke back makes it a little tough for Redmond to have to defense that whole middle in there.
There's a shot by Martin. Martin's getting the shots. He hasn't started to heat up as yet. Quickly with the basketball, Chrisman attired in their gray uniform, trimmed in scarlet. Redmond up and off, and the rebound, Martin.
That was Redmond's shot. He likes that shot there.
Jamie Martin just owned that defensive board last night, and here is the collision. Hollingsworth.
This is unusual for Chrisman to be fouling this much this early.
Well, they haven't fouled all that much. 3 personals. But we're only, well, we haven't played half the quarter yet.
I guess it is.
Yeah, I guess we have played half the quarter. Plus 6 seconds. Scott inbounding. Harvard leading by 2 at 8-6. Jay Jones looks at Hollingsworth. Eyeball, comes out to Tom Scott. Here's Jay Jones. Right side to Fisher. Harvard does not substitute often. King. Yeah, that shot took an interesting trajectory, didn't it?
I didn't think it was going to come down.
Rolled up to the top of the backboard, and so here's Chrisman looking for the equalizer as Troy Hollingsworth brings it across. Right side. The push is up by DeMoss, and off with the basketball. Again comes Harvard. King to Martin.
Beautiful bank shot.
Jamie Martin gets the second fielder off the assist from Tom King.
Used the glass well.
Yeah, you saw that shot was pretty well out on the floor by Martin. And, of course, that's one of his great talents at 6'6". Good perimeter shooter. DeMoss holds. Randy DeMoss to Wayne Pennington. Pennington tries to pick his way in among the trees. They get it right back out to Holt to DeMoss. Now inside to Redmond. Redmond over Shimke, and air ball pulled down by Jamie Martin. To Tom King. Won't go. Rebound control underneath, and finally coming out with it is Randy DeMoss at 6'1". He's a 17-year-old senior, 160-pounder. Looks at that 2-3 zone or 2-1-2, whatever you prefer. Redmond.
He shoots over Shimke this time.
Yeah, he may have to give a little ground to Shimke.
Yeah,
back off maybe a half a step or two. He's got that kind of shooting ability. Harvard leads it by 2 at 10-8. And we're settling down for another good one, looks like, Bob, in this lower bracket.
I believe this will be a great ball game.
The winner takes on Providence St. Mel for the championship. Jay Jones. Redmond has the board, juggled it, but he got her back under control. Gives it off this time to Troy Hollingsworth. The slick sophomore backliner across the stripe. To Randy DeMoss.
Redmond again.
Inside, ducks inside of Shimke, and Shimke fouled it.
Reaching in foul on...
It wasn't Shimke, it was Jones sagging back.
Reaching in foul on Jay Jones.
Looks like Harvard, of course, obviously would like to get a double team when the ball goes into Redmond with Shimke behind him and drop either Jones or King back in front of him. That time Jones got a shade too aggressive.
Well, I think that Shimke needs a little help out there as far as Redmond shooting away from the goal, and he was trying to help him by reaching in.
Well, Harvard is a zone ball club. Bruce Virchow admits they go with the zone, they live with it. Redmond now with 3 points, and he narrows this to a 1-point ball game. Harvard up by a digit. 2:06 to go in the first quarter. Redmond eyes it. Not exactly a swisher, but they all count.
Steve Redmond.
We're deadlocked
like he
at
did
10.
yesterday.
Official timeout. And one of your network sponsors is Lasso. 27-game winning streak. They won 27 in a row. Their only loss was to Ruckton Hononegah, a double-A school in a holiday tournament at Harvard over Thanksgiving weekend. Here's your field goal percentage. Harvard at 45, Chrisman at a chilly 24. And again, I think that 24% reflects the size of the Harvard ball club, just making it tough to shoot inside. Harvard inbounds, even Stevens. As we approach and hit the 2-minute mark in the first quarter, Tom King. Jay Jones back to King. Into Martin.
Beautiful pass. Beautiful pass by Tom King.
King is finding Martin open. That's the 3rd field goal, and on the last 2, King has had the assist. Harvard goes up by a pair. With 1:43 to go in the quarter. Chrisman right back down. Chrisman from the East Okaw Conference. Very tough, hard-nosed basketball team. Walt Holt to Hollingsworth. Out on the floor to Greg Hunt, who has just come in. To Pennington. Rebound by Holt. Walt Holt got her down. Good motion on that jump shot. Popped it back in. We're tied. Tied at 12 with 1:19 to go. Tom King across to Jay Jones. Jones looks to Shimke, finds him.
Oh, beautiful. You see, they're having so much trouble covering both Shimke and Jamie Martin there. Steve Redmond is the only real big man they have in there.
That does provide a coaching problem, doesn't it?
It does.
The Twin Towers, if you will. Pennington. Here's Hunt. Hunt looking inside. As you can see that zone, pretty tough, 2-1-2. There's Remington, or Reddington, I should say, or Redmond. We'll get it right in a minute.
Oh, Redmond just, like he was yesterday, just playing a great ball game.
Tied at 14. I'm trying to combine Redmond and Pennington into one name. Reddington. That won't go, will it? Martin to Fisher. Airs it, and Hollingsworth flat-footed with the board. Half a minute for the quarter. Hollingsworth across. To Hunt out front. Greg Hunt. Right corner to Holt around the zone defense to Wayne Pennington. In the left corner to Hunt. Hunt eyeballs it, doesn't take that shot out of there as Fisher moves to him in that portion of the zone. Right back to Pennington, down to 13 seconds. Roger Beal's Chrisman club will be patient here. They like the live shot of the quarter. In a game that's tied. Back out front to Hunt. Penetration by Holt. Won't go. Rebound Everett. Off by Pennington. Pennington almost got that rebound effort home. We played 1 quarter. We're even Steven after 1. As you can see, it's a 14-14 battle here in the Assembly Hall, and one of your network teams as we go to the second quarter. Chrisman is a basketball team from the field this year, shooting better than 51% or 50%. They're shooting 5-14 at the line, 6-47. Harvard shooting 5-25 from the field, led, of course, by that sensational shooting effort by Jamie Martin of 684 at the free throw line. Harvard is a 635 shooting team. Now, there's your first period shooting. Harvard under their season-long average at 47. Chrisman way under it at 33. The Harvard Hornets out of the Big 8 Conference way up in northern Illinois by the Wisconsin border. Here's Jamie Martin. Martin has not really dropped those in with the regularity he did last night, but it's early. Controlling the basketball at Chrisman.
He's still getting the shot, though, Art. He's getting the shot right where he wants it.
This is the closest to a controlled tempo ball game we've seen in this tournament, Bob.
This is more deliberate style.
Battle of zone defenses. Both teams playing deliberate basketball. Not slowing it down to a walk, but deliberate. Hunt. Board inside. Holt had it, but Martin stole. Pennington gets it back. Swatted out of there.
Big Shimke.
Hell, it was Shimke.
Slapped it right down like a volleyball.
Photographer on the far side of the floor made a great save over there. Had to protect his camera with the good left hand, or they would have had a basketball label on it. Here's Redmond. Redmond off the glass, and it won't go. Actually, didn't come off the glass either. It came off the iron. Off the floor. Fisher got the ball on the recovery. Right side to King.
Beautiful
to Martin.
feedback.
Great feed. Shimke had it, lost it. Fine steal by Wayne Pennington. Boy, Pennington will battle you in there, won't he?
When you have a guy that's 6'6" feeding you inside, that makes it awfully tough to defense him. He's thrown into another man 6'5".
But Chrisman doing a very good job of it.
He sure is.
Hunt to Pennington. That ball hit up on the top of the
Yes, it did. I thought the ball should have been ball.
Well, it's still in play unless it hits the guy wire.
I thought it hit the guy wire.
I don't think so, no. No, but well, who knows? The official didn't think so, and that's all that counts. On King's jumper. Jamie Martin had an attempt to tip it there. Couldn't get control of the basketball, and Chrisman brings it right down. Neither club has scored in the second quarter. Greg Hunt to Hollingsworth. Neither team shooting up to their capabilities, and I think one reason we have a couple of packed-in zone defenses. And both coaches are saying, hey, if you're going to win it, beat me from the outside. You're not going to beat me in the paint. Pennington. Missed rather badly, frankly. Jones ahead to King.
Beautiful feed.
So Harvard goes up by 2 in what is something of a chess match here in the lower bracket semifinal in the Assembly Hall. Pennington to Redmond. Puts a move on Shimke, pulls it up.
Redmond's kind of forced his shots a little hard.
Yeah, he's having trouble getting around Shimke. Shimke came up with the basketball. Jones and Redmond are asking pretty good.
That might have been through frustration on the other end just then. I think Steve Redmond was pressured pretty hard on the offensive end. He comes down there and hammers.
Jay Jones is going to be at the free throw line, and he'll be awarded a pair. Well, Redmond, of course, is facing a different problem than he opposed last night, and in the victory for Chrisman over Madison. Madison has some leapers inside, but the fact remains they didn't have the kind of size. Tipped by Martin, not controlled. He gets it right back down. The ball is knocked out of bounds underneath by Chrisman's Walt Holt after Jones made the first free throw. So it's a 3-point Harvard lead, and the Hornets will play it in. Tom King looking. Gets it out to Jones. 1-3-1 for Chrisman, it looks like. Is that the way you see it, Bob?
No, I see a 2-1-2 or 2-3.
Traveling violation is called on Tom King. I like the 1-3-1. I always try to put a coach in that. Most of them never do it. That's why you're here, is to correct me on those things, Bob. Which he will, friends, believe me. Here's Redmond, top of the circle. Off to Greg Hunt. Hunt was tempted. Redmond back to Hunt.
Ronnie gets one to fall out there.
He was tempted the first time, didn't take it. Second time he drove.
Give it right back on the other end to Jamie Martin. Jamie did a great job getting down the floor that time, Art. He really moved out.
He has great potential, I would think, to continue his basketball career and play in a lot of places.
Has all the tools.
He'll probably grow some, I would imagine. He's 6'6" right now. Be a nice power forward for somebody. Hollingsworth. Frank Massoni's string music from about 20 feet. Hollingsworth had nothing but the bottom of the cords, and Harvard's lead is 1. Jay Jones, we're in the second quarter. The winner takes on Providence St. Mel, who did not have a cakewalk this afternoon against Houston East Lynn. Martin's foul for the offensive foul. Sliding in there and getting position was Walt Holt. Foul number 2 on Jamie Martin. That's a key call at this juncture.
This kind of a questionable call. Could have gone either way, looks to me like.
Tough call to make.
It sure was.
But it's a pivotal call because on Martin it's foul number 2. There's Hunt. Bombs away.
And they found the range now.
Get out the crosshairs and take a good look at it. Chrisman by a digit, 20-19. 9 seconds shy of the midway point of the game's second quarter. Tom King. They give the ball to Martin. As you see, Jamie now has the top of the circle. Right side to Jay Jones. They work to Fisher. Back to Jamie Martin. Pulls it up. Both go, and a great rebound to Walt Holt. Holt off to Greg Hunt. Here's Hunt across quickly as Harvard sags back into that zone defense. Still the 2-1-2. Hunt. Third in a row.
He just walks up there and hit it.
Third in a row, and it's not a jump shot. It's a good old-fashioned right-handed
That's
push
right.
shot. Harvard needs a timeout. They're going to take it right here.
Those are set shots, Art.
Yep. 3:30 1:36 showing for the half. Timeout with Chrisman on top by 3 at 22-19. 22-19, Chrisman leading. We're going to see Greg Hunt's third in a row, his third set shot coming up here in just a moment.
All right, he just sits out there and walks into his shot. Watch him here.
Hunt number
just
4.
Takes a step and the old set shot.
Step, it's on the way. Takes a while to get there. There it is.
Little back door there.
Now Fisher went for the bucket, couldn't get it to stick, and right now Harvard can't buy one. Ball was deflected out of there and controlled. Is coming up the floor quickly for Chrisman is Randy DeMoss. Down on the perimeter, won't go down this trip, and Jay Jones brings it back for the Hornets. They trail it by 3. They look to Shimke, goes inside, lost control, ball deflected away, and
Shimke still gets it
on the inside. Yep.
There's a beautiful pass into Shimke.
Many of those passes have been contested, though. Harvard's own defense, or I should say Chrisman's own defense, very effective. Ball knocked away. Nothing wrong with the Harvard defense either.
Big Shimke's in there taking over now.
Tom King across for the Harvard Hornets. They're looking for a go-ahead hoop.
You hear a sound that sounds like booing in the background. They call Shimke Moose.
Right. Jay Jones is not Moose, but he just put Harvard on top by 1. 23-22. This one figures to be airtight.
Same shot.
Missed it. First one he's missed. Rebound, Jamie Martin. Martin off to Tom King. King trying to pick up the tempo a little bit, but he slows it down. Top of the circle. Martin.
Beautiful pass in there by Jamie Martin. Beautiful pass into Shimke. And Shimke was strong enough to take it up despite being fouled. Watch him. He almost takes 2 people with him here. It's that strength, Art.
Take no prisoners, right? Shimke's at the line. Ball off the floor. Shimke gets it back from Fisher. Skying for it is Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth pulls it down, comes down for Chrisman. Whistle stopping play, and Greg Hunt's going to be called for pushing off against Jamie Martin. Chrisman bench are up on every call and every bucket down to our right as we're located here in the Assembly Hall. Foul on Hunt, of course, will send Harvard to the line in a 1-on-1 situation.
Art Country Company's Insurance and its nearly 900 agents are happy to be a part of the IHS telecast. Hope you'll be with us tonight for the championship and next week for the Class AA tourney.
Jamie Martin has not had the shooting touch this afternoon he had last night. But he's an excellent shooter. That goes in streaks sometimes, doesn't it, Bob?
Oh, yeah. Sometimes you can't miss.
Harvard leads it by 3. In an up-and-down ball game. The lead has changed hands at least 3 times that I can recall. Left corner is Steve Redmond, who has not been a real factor as yet for Chrisman. And he was certainly the key in the win over Madison. Hollingsworth. Redmond tries to tip. Batted out front, and see what we're going to have.
Foul is on Steve Redmond, I believe.
Yeah, I think you're right. Redmond picked up his second.
Well, he was out of position.
Yeah.
All right, he was having to reach over.
So Shimke will be at the line, where he is 0 for 1. Well, there you see it.
So went over the back.
Redmond and Shimke battling. Eric Shimke at the line.
Shimke's having a great afternoon.
9 points. He had a good solid effort against Jonesboro last night. Rebound. Curling out of there. A newcomer to the Chrisman lineup, Tony Randall on the floor. 6'3", 185. 17-year-old senior wearing number 22. There's Redmond trying to post up in the middle, number 40.
Hollingsworth from way out.
Foul is on Fisher.
The basket will be good, Art.
On Fisher, it's foul number 1. Basket does count, says official Jim Collins out of Harrisburg. So it's a 2-point game. Harvard's lead narrowed to 2 at 26-24. With 1:24 to go in the first half. Hollingsworth looking for the equalizer. Hunt gets the board back. He goes in.
Beautiful shot by Greg Hunt.
Greg Hunt, his first inside bucket. He has 8 points all in the game's second period. 26 apiece. Tom King. Harvard retaliates quickly. Third bucket for King. 1 minute to go, a 2-point Harvard lead. Hunt looks to hold. That's DeMoss, number 10. Left side, Hollingsworth. He slides. Oh, pretty move on the baseline.
Beautiful drive by Troy Hollingsworth.
Little head fake. Got a little room, drove the baseline. And this thing is even, Steven. It was tied at the quarter at 14. Tom Scott glances over at Bruce Furchow on the
I think they're winning one shot, Art.
I know Furchow wants one shot. Now, what do the kids will respond?
Last night they wanted one and didn't get it.
That's what I was going to say. We haven't always seen that instruction followed. Here's Fisher. Number 10 out with it is Jay Jones. Tom Scott. Clock is ticked down now to 20 seconds. Jay Jones to Scott. They'll just play catch until they make their move. Watch Jamie Martin, number 52. Shimke, of course, posted up. Martin is in the corner of the floor. Right corner of your screen. And that's Scott. He can't get it to go. Up quickly is Hunt from the timeline on the way. That ball hit pretty high up on the board. Didn't have a chance to go in, but nevertheless, not a bad effort from midcourt in Champaign. So we're right where we started and right where we were at the end of the quarter. Dead even. As you see the teams head down the tunnel toward the dressing room at halftime in a 28-28 matchup. The winner will meet Providence St. Mel for the championship tonight in Class A basketball for 85. Steve Redmond jumping against number 40, Eric Shimke, in the black for Harvard. Greg Hunt for Chrisman. Oh, what a move. And foul number 3 on Jamie Martin. Foul number 3 on Jamie Martin. That is a big call. And Greg Hunt, who did not start this ball game for Chrisman, has lightened the place up. That's his 10th point, and Chrisman leads it by a pair.
Made a beautiful drive here. And Jamie just come in and caught him, that's all. Caught him with his left arm.
And that was off the opening jump. Free throw is, as you see, perfect. It's a 3-point play to push Chrisman on top by 3 just seconds into the third quarter. Shimke. Controlling the rebound is Redmond. Steve Redmond brings it down. Roger Beals, Chrisman Cardinals playing very well at the moment.
Shimke was defense pretty tough that time on that shot.
Hollingsworth rattles, won't go. Martin with the board. Clears off to Tom King for Harvard. In the paint. And we got a reach-in foul.
Oh, Troy Hollingsworth, I believe.
As you can hear from our microphone stationed on the backboard here in the Assembly Hall, right here was the call. No question about it. And they'll make the play in right there, as you see it. Hollingsworth will be on defense. As they give it to the foul, it's Tom King triggering it in, and it's knocked out of bounds once again. Exceptional defensive effort on the part of both clubs, and it's tough to really keep the score at those ridiculously low figures with two good offensive teams, but certainly defense has been tough. That's Shimke's
taking it to the goal irregardless of people.
Tony Randall got the rebound. Another non-starter for Chrisman playing very well. Hollingsworth to Redmond. Jamie Martin is over the back of DeMoss, but he really wrapped it out of there. Down to Jay Jones. Jay Jones with the drive in off the Shimke. I should say off the Martin rebound, then the Martin assist. He practically threw the ball player for Chrisman down the floor with a basketball. Hollingsworth on the right wing as he looks at that zone defense. Definite 2-1-2. Hunt rattles, won't go. Hollingsworth uses the window and pops her back through. 8 points for Hollingsworth.
He was just standing flat-footed and the ball came right off to him.
Chrisman by 3, 33-30. Jay Jones. Rebound, Eric Shimke. And let's see who we're going to have here. Looks like Greg Hunt is the man they're going to sort out. Foul number 2 on Hunt. You know, Bob, many times you see kids come off the bench and make a great contribution, but Roger Beals has to be delighted with Hunt. 11-point performance for him.
I'd say so. It's a pretty good output.
Well, he's done some other things well. He's handled the ball, played the defense. Eric Shimke at the line. The youngster they call Moose. He's only 6'5", 210-pounder.
Football player.
I bet he's a fine one.
I bet he is, too.
Big Ten does not recruit too many kids that can't play the game in that league, and he's going to Wisconsin. Chrisman leads by just 1 after Eric Shimke tosses in a pair at the line. Redmond.
Oh, that's Redmond's shot there.
That's what he did.
Turn around, fall away.
That's what he did last night against Madison so effectively. 3-point lead back to Chrisman. Here's a steal. Randy DeMoss stepped in front of the pass from Jay Jones. DeMoss for the Cardinals to Hollingsworth. The Class E sophomore.
Boy, Hollingsworth has had an incredible tournament up here.
10 points for Hollingsworth. We've had some good sophomores. Zelia McGee, of course, with St. Mel. And Hollingsworth, the two that come to mind immediately. Tom King. Shimke with the board. They're going to call a foul on Randall, I guess. Troy Randall, let's wait for the up. The foul has been whistled. I'm not sure on who.
I thought it was number 22.
Yeah, okay, they called on Hollingsworth.
Okay.
Thanks to Jerry Wheatley in the trucks for the assist. I didn't even see Hollingsworth into the play. He was tucked in under the hoop. Shimke battles, and a foul again is called on Randy DeMoss this trip.
Art, did you mention Hollingsworth with 3 personals, and of course he is a very key player in the Chrisman attack.
Absolutely, and I did not, Frank. I'm glad you inserted that. Of course, Jamie Martin picked up his 3rd here early, so each team has to stand out in some foul trouble. Shimke gets it back, beats Jamie Martin. Martin slides it.
He walked up there.
And let's see what we're going to have. Now they're going to call a foul.
I thought he might have traveled on the call.
Foul is on Steve Redmond. That's his 3rd. So the foul column starting to out. Remember last night in the Chrisman-Madison game, Chrisman was in desperate foul trouble and survived it. Jamie Martin is at the line.
That's a big foul on Steve Redmond. 3 fouls.
Well, Martin just doesn't have the touch today.
I think he might have got a little bit disgusted with the fact he had 3 quick fouls.
77% shooter at the line. Didn't get the first one, but got the second with a 2-shot violation. So it's a 9-point performance for Jamie Martin at this point. Chrisman leads it by 4. In the 3rd quarter, Hollingsworth to Redmond. Puts it on the deck, goes to the baseline. Rebound deflected, and they're going to call it off the Harvard's Tom King. Well, the Hornets having trouble finding the hoop right now, and Chrisman playing that tough defense. Redmond coming to life a little bit offensively. Pass inbound. They tried to get the ball to Steve Redmond, and you may have noticed Shimke overplayed Redmond there, Bob.
He did. He anticipated that he was going to receive the ball. Did a real good job.
DeMoss to Hunt. To Redmond. Redmond looking, jumping, shooting, missing. Rebound, DeMoss. Randy DeMoss. Chrisman leads by 6. We're going to have a change in the lineup for Harvard as Mike Jones is going to check in. Harvard hasn't been behind too many times in the state tournament series. Shimke powers in. And Eric Shimke, quite frankly, is carrying Harvard right now.
Redmond had to back off with 3 fouls on him. He had to let him have that one.
4-point lead to Chrisman. Cardinals playing well. Hollingsworth. This is just a tough, hard-nosed basketball team, Bob. We hate to sound repetitious.
Both the ball clubs are just doing a great job.
DeMoss. Shimke.
There's big Shimke. Rebound 3-on-2.
Shimke clears it to Jay Jones. Jones looking. To King.
Beautiful left-hand shot there by Tom King. Falling away. Beautiful shot.
Tom King really got in close on the baseline. Popped it in. 39-37. 2-point lead to Chrisman. And Randy DeMoss working right side to Hollingsworth. That zone getting tighter and tighter on the inside. Hunt. Great rebound, Randall. Boy, there's a big play. There's another kid that didn't start.
Actually, Jamie Martin was completely out of the play then. I don't know what happened. He was way over on the corner.
And he's riding with 3 fouls anyway.
That's right.
Back door to Fisher, and it won't go down. Up quickly, Chrisman with the 4-point lead. Hunt. He is hooked and fouled by Shimke.
Shimke really tore him up.
Foul number 1 on Eric Shimke. Checking in the lineup for Harvard is going to be Mike Jones. Now we're going to see it again, Bob.
I don't think there's much doubt as what this call was. He almost decapitated.
Yeah, Eric, let's take a look at it from another angle. Well, you got to see Shimke's playing defense, don't you?
Really grabbed him by the head.
Foul is on the linebacker.
Yeah. You can't give him 15 yards, so Hunt will be at the line. Greg Hunt, a non-starter with 11 points. 4-point lead to Chrisman, 41-37 at this juncture. Good look at Greg Hunt. Hunt's a 17-year-old senior. 5-point lead to Chrisman. 3:47 for the 3rd quarter. Jamie Martin. Jay Jones. They look inside to Shimke, but Jones has it. Can't get it down. Rebound deflected, and coming out of traffic with it is Greg Hunt. Hunt and DeMoss talk to each other as they come over the 10-second line. Hunt wire at number 4. There's DeMoss, number 10. He works it inside to Redmond. Redmond puts it on the floor one time. Won't go. Rebound swatted out. Here's Jay Jones. Jay brings it up quickly.
Right now, I think that Steve Redmond's forcing his shot a little bit, guard.
Yeah, he lost the ball.
Shot.
Chrisman back with the steal. Troy Hollingsworth as Tom Scott goes sailing into the radio section opposite our broadcasting position. Tore down a little portion of the curtain there.
Sure did.
Covering that area. Here's Hollingsworth on the floor. Scrambling for it and finally getting control as Mike Jones just came in the ball game. Mike Jones came in and they removed Mike Fisher. Jay Jones, Mike Jones, Shimke.
Beautiful. All right, Shimke and Redmond are going at it pretty hard right now. Really going at each other.
3-point ball game. Chrisman leading 42-39 down the home stretch in the third quarter. Greg Hunt, the fans really roaring. Randall.
That's 4 on Jamie Martin.
No, it wasn't on Martin, I don't believe. It was on Shimke, I think. Let's wait and see. Nope, you're right. It was on Jamie Martin. That is number 4 on Jamie Martin. You might make a good official, Bob. You picked that up pretty quick. Well, we got a timeout. Timeout with 2:29 to play. Jamie Martin on the bench, I would assume, with 4 fouls. Yeah, they're taking him out of there as Fisher has come back in. A little statistical data there. Front line, Harvard has outscored Chrisman 26-16. But let's take a look at the backcourt scoring. Harvard with the 13-12 edge. All right, let's take a look at the bench scoring. There's your difference.
14 zip.
14 zip, Chrisman. Interesting statistical data.
Compliments of Greg Hunt and Tony Randall.
And Brad Johansson is keeping the figures for us. Left corner is Redmond. Out front to Hunt. To Hollingsworth. Here's Redmond. They're posting Randall inside the zone defense. Harvard with a 3-point lead. There's Greg Hunt. Very good discipline, very good patience from this Chrisman ball club. They are out-patienting Harvard, I would say right now, Bob.
I'd say so.
Hollingsworth to DeMoss. Board loose. Off the floor, Jay Jones.
3 on 1, almost threw it away.
Down to Tom King. Now let's see what Harvard looks for. They've got their big gun, Jamie Martin, out of there in foul.
You know who they look for? Shimke.
Got to look for him.
He wants the ball.
He's wanting it badly. And he's so strong. Once he gets it, he's going to take it up there.
2 Jones boys on the floor for Harvard right now. Here is Tom King. Can't get it to go. You've got Jay Jones, number 10, and Mike Jones, number 24.
They're cousins.
Yep. And Chrisman still has a 3-point lead.
Shimke is still staying right with Steve Redmond in there, and he comes in low.
Redmond on the perimeter. To Randy DeMoss.
As he
Roger
comes down
Beal,
low,
very well drilled ball
picks him
club.
With Shimke.
You're having almost as much trouble with that pronunciation as the defenses are.
I do. I agree.
Randall. Tony Randall, turnaround, 44-39. 5 seconds left in the third quarter.
You notice that Troy Hollingsworth is trying to help Redmond in there with Shimke.
It's a double team virtually, isn't it?
He's dropping right in front of him. He can't get the ball into him from the front.
Tom King got the shot away, but we have a foul in the interim, which has been whistled on Randy DeMoss. That's his third. At the line will go Tom King. A couple of very integral parts of this Harvard offense have been well shut down by the defense, namely Jamie Martin, and King has not had a big day either. And now they're having trouble getting the ball to Shimke. All of which has to be to the credit of the Chrisman Cardinals and the job they're doing inside in particular.
They got a great defensive team. Do a good job.
Rebound, Redmond. Well, 27 opponents have discovered that this year. Only 4 have solved it. Randy DeMoss to Hollingsworth. Half a minute left. 4-point ball game. Chrisman leading by 4, and of course, when do you bring back Jamie Martin? You've got a whole quarter to play.
Look at the fighting going on between Redmond and Shimke.
That is a pretty good duel on the inside.
A good duel.
Hollingsworth. Shimke tipped that rebound out of there, trying to keep it alive, and Randall scrambled. 8 seconds to go, third quarter. Here's Hunt down to 6 seconds. DeMoss with 4 seconds. Oh, inside jumper. Randall won't go. Hollingsworth rebounds. It won't go either. 2 hurried shots at the finish, and after 3 periods, Chrisman up by a 4-point margin. In a real classic lower bracket semifinal rebounding situation, 25 but 31 for Chrisman. That's a key factor. Chrisman has taken command of the boards.
The ball should have gone up again. No one really ever tapped it.
Jamie Martin made a whale of a save at the timeline. Turnover factor, still not a big factor. Harvard with 5, Chrisman with 2. Tempo of play is pretty well dictating that turnover count. Neither club has pressed for the ball at all as yet. Pass thrown in there by Tom King is picked off by Chrisman. The Cardinals have it. They lead by 4, and Roger Beals will probably get more and more deliberate if they build a little bit. Redmond's
found his range here.
Redmond with 10 points. That's a pretty good contribution in a game of this sort, however. 46 to 40.
That's a tough shot to defense, that turnaround shot at his
Redmond's
side.
real value has been his defense on the inside, Bob.
I agree.
Today, Jay Jones kind of forced it, I feel. Tony Randall with the board for Chrisman. Well, I'll tell you, they're tough, rugged kids, aren't they, out of that East Okaw Conference. 46-40 Chrisman. Just underway in the final period. DeMoss to Hunt, back to DeMoss. Here's Greg Hunt. Back to DeMoss. Off to Hollingsworth, the sophomore, all the confidence in the world.
He has had a great tournament.
48-40 ball game, and
timeout now by Harvard.
Has to have a timeout. The Harvard Hornets in trouble, and they know it. Just underway in the final period, but Chrisman has built this into an 8-point lead. And 1 minute and 42 seconds left to go in a very, very tough battle here in the Assembly Hall. The winner takes on Providence St. Mel. There you see part of that Chrisman crowd, which is considerable. The Harvard throng, every bit as large here. And Harvard inbounds the basketball. Trying to climb at least a hill, maybe not a mountain as yet. Mike Jones low to Shimke. Tip. Martin was there, Shimke was there, neither could get it. Out with the basketball, Chrisman.
An 8-point lead in this type of ball game, Art, is a lot bigger lead than in the last game we were working.
Well, that's right, because it's a much more tedious type of affair. Tony Randall has done a great job for Chrisman in reserve. There's Redmond.
Redmond's finding himself now. He's having a good afternoon.
10-point margin being held by Chrisman. Harvard comes down. They're going to have to pick up the tempo, and I would think they'll have to get out of that zone and start pressuring pretty quickly. Mike Jones on the baseline. Misses the works, and it's grabbed out of the air and controlled here by Randy DeMoss. DeMoss just walks it up for Chrisman. They got a 10-point lead. The clock is ticking in their favor. Jay Jones tried for the steal. Randy DeMoss out front. Bounce pass in there. Intended for Randall. This time intercepted. Nice play. Jay Jones down for the Hornets. Back out front quickly. Works the ball to Mike Jones. To Tom King. And Randall is really shadowing Jamie Martin all over the place. Martin, number 52, has 9 rebounds in the game. There's Jamie Martin, the All-Stater. Inside to Shimke. Bulls in. Got it.
Might have traveled a little.
Now Shimke with 13, 17 points. He has paced Harvard this afternoon. Back to an 8-point lead. There's number 40 posted up high. It's Redmond on the inside. They go in the right corner now to Hunt. Back to Redmond. Off to the sophomore, Hollingsworth.
That's the difference. Everybody's defensing inside on Redmond and leaving it outside open.
Martin to King. Martin tips it out to Shimke. Rebound high for it. Pull it to Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth has scored at the attacking end. Glancing down at the bench, you can see Roger Beals kneeling down in front of the Chrisman bench. Telling his ball club to cool it. Take their time. Redmond fouled.
That Roger Beals a pretty good coach for being a bus driver, huh? He was kidding in the press yesterday about he's the team's bus driver, so he was going to drive him home and have him sleep at home last night.
Yeah, we talked about that just before you came back after doing the pregame interviews, Frank. Said he knew where they were going to be. Yeah, he may be the most successful coach and bus driver in this tournament, at least. There's Redmond at the line. Chrisman has played extremely well, and Harvard's a fine basketball team, but they've just taken away things that Harvard has been able to do against other clubs. Harvard has won 27 in a row. Steve Redmond, a senior, 18-year-old, 6'6", 185-pounder. He'll play for somebody. Hollingsworth comes up with the basketball. Hollingsworth's going to go coast to coast, and he's fouled. Didn't have to take the shot. Tom King fouled him. I think we should mention, fellas, we haven't really commented on this, but in the Class A tournament, many of the players are not early signees to college scholarships. Now, of course, Lowell Hamilton was to Illinois. There are some obvious ones, but generally these are the players that are going to be picked up by Division I, II, and III schools and NAIA schools after the season. There's your steal, Bob.
That was a great steal, too. Randy DeMoss just reached in there and slapped it away.
Hollingsworth's free throw didn't go, but Tony Randall was called for pushing off. Tony is 6'3", 185, a 17-year-old senior. See how much this personnel is back for Chrisman. Let's see, they haven't played Wayne Pennington much because Randall's been playing so well. Of course, Holt is back, a sophomore. And Hollingsworth, that's not a bad starting point, is it? So two of the guys who have played out there are back. They're back for 2 more seasons.
They'll miss Steve Redmond.
Oh, yeah, I would think so.
I tell you, Jamie Martin.
That's like saying the Celtics have missed Larry Bird.
Jamie Martin just hasn't had the ball game that I know he's capable of having, and I think that's a big factor in this game.
Well, he's been very well defensed.
He's not had the ball that much.
Simke goes 1 of 2 at the line. It's 53-43 Chrisman. They still have that 10-point lead. They finally broke on top after 3. Troy Hollingsworth. There's Redmond. Redmond with Shimke playing well behind him right now. Back to Redmond. Little 4 corners action for Chrisman.
I think they should. I think they'll pull it out and run some time up.
They want to get Harvard to go out and play a little man-to-man with them, apparently.
And I see no reason why they don't just take it out in the middle of the floor. Pull them out.
Yep. Here's DeMoss.
Get them all out there.
DeMoss over to Hunt. Frank Masoni's waving both arms, trying to help coach.
Frank's over coaching Chrisman team.
I coach on both ends.
He covers Bradley. He hasn't seen the 4 corners all year, have you, Frank?
Not much.
They don't hold it down there. 53-43. This, of course, is a tactical move, and Harvard's in trouble. They're going to have to come out and pursue and start fouling. And speaking of that, as you just noted, Tom King left little doubt about the personal foul. That's his third.
It was a rolling body block. Really a tough foul.
Well, Harvard's in a situation where they just have to force the turnover, and there's Greg Hunt being fouled, as you see, Bob.
Definitely a body foul.
Art, there's one constant factor in both these semifinal games, the great effort by both sides at each game. There's nobody doing anything but giving all they have and maybe just a little more.
I can't recall too many clubs down here at Champaign that we can't say that about. Once in a while you get a team that maybe in the late going, but yeah, you're right, Frank, no doubt about that. Fisher can't get it in, and we have a foul call.
It's another one on Tom King.
Yep, foul is going to go to King, and on King, that's his 4th. He's got them all in the second half.
I think that most people would have felt that this ball game would have gone down to the wire. Myself, I thought it would. I'm surprised to see a 12-point ball game here.
There's the foul by King as he just kind of slammed in on the inside trying for the steal. Kind of a desperation foul, but Harvard, let's face it, is in a desperate situation. We have a conference over here at the scorer's table.
And actually, Art, the ball game preceding this one,
that's Tom King you see there.
No one thought that that'd be a ball game at all, and yet it turned out to be a tremendous ball game.
Well, I'm not sure what the discussion's about. Frank Masoni's going over to check, and here is Bruce Birchow now coming over. The official's talking with the official scorer about something. Maybe the foul count on King. Now, we have King with 4.
He's fouled out of the ball game. Tom King is fouled out of the ball game.
Is that the indication?
I believe it is.
He hasn't left yet.
I believe that he has.
Well, if that's the case, and it disagrees with our book, I've got him with 4. Bruce Birchow talking rather intently with one of the officials.
What that discussion was about, Art, was the official book has Tom King with 5 fouls. The other book has him with 4. They're going to go by the official book, and Tom King will be out of the game.
Well, I have him with 4. I agree with the other book. So Tom King has fouled out. Well, thanks for the information, Frank. You were over there on top of that discussion. So Tom King leaves with 3:26 to play. They'll be talking about that one at the Assembly Hall for a while. 9 points. We have very rarely had controversies that concern number of fouls and so forth, but that one may be discussed a bit. At the line is Randall. And who's to say who is right? We've got two books, they disagree. I suppose you're talking about the Harvard book, aren't you? And the official book. Second throw misfired, as you saw, 56-43. Chrisman by 13. Jay Jones trying to bring Harvard back. 3 minutes and 16 seconds left. Here are the Hornets in full court pressure. On the floor is Mike Jones. He replaced Tom King when King left by a foul. And it's Greg Hunt for Chrisman to Randy DeMoss. I don't think Harvard has the quicks to steal the ball away from this club on a full court pressure basis, but we'll see. Hunt being covered tough out front by Mike Jones. Here's Hollingsworth. Hollingsworth puts it on the deck, circles away. Jay Jones swats it away momentarily, but it's retrieved. Out front with it is Randy DeMoss. DeMoss guarded closely. Ball is deflected away, and Redmond scrambles. He's got it, left sideline. Chrisman not looking for the basket now with 2:35 left. They're leading it by a margin of 11 points at 56-45 and doing a good job of holding the ball right now. Plus the fact Harvard doesn't play a lot of man-to-man defense. Here is a foul called on Mike Jones, who thought he took the charge. Mike did a pretty good acting job, too.
He sure did. He was in too deep. He was underneath him there.
He looked kind of disgusted with the call when it gives, and then he kind of smiled. At the line is Greg Hunt. Two fine basketball teams. Credits to the communities. There's Bruce Birchow. Young coach done a whale of a job at Harvard. Ringing the bell is Hunt. Looking very much like the Harvard Hornets are going to settle for a matchup in third place game with Hoops at East Lynn tonight. Chrisman leads it by a pair. 12, I should say. Make it 13.
Greg Hunt sure doesn't play like a reserve, does he?
I imagine Roger Beal's glad he brought him along, Frank. He's mildly important in this
ball again.
Here's Hunt, 3-on-1 break. Dishes it off to Hollingsworth.
Shimke got a hand on that ball.
Didn't make any difference. Hollingsworth put in the hoop. Suddenly a 15-point lead for Chrisman.
Jamie's forcing his shot up now.
Jamie hasn't had many shots, Bob.
He's wanting to shoot a little bit before this game's over.
Let me check with Brad. If Brad can hear me, number of shots that Jamie Martin has taken this afternoon. He just hasn't got the ball a great deal. Here is Jay Jones. Rebound is up and in by Martin. Jamie Martin just got his first field goal of the entire second half. Total of only 9 shots. Thanks, Brad. Only 9 shots taken by Jamie Martin in this ball game. And I know Bruce Birchow wants a lot more shooting than that with a superstar. Foul on Jay Jones.
Well, when you average 22 points a game, you generally shoot more than 9 times.
Credit to Roger Beals and his Chrisman defense.